the worst debate performances in history. President Biden just confirmed at one of his rallies that he is not stepping down or stepping aside. So if you guys have been following this, then you know both the right and the left are just, we are awestruck by how bad his performance was. And even the left is now saying he needs to step down. Something is clearly wrong with him. However, he just held one of his rallies and he confirmed he's not doing that. In fact, he's doubling down. Take a listen and we'll discuss.
Biden making it known to his voters he is ready to return to the White House for another 4 years, following what critics are saying was the worst debate performance by an incumbent in American history. Biden faltered while Trump made a multitude of falsehoods on some of the key issues that matter most to voters. In his first rally since the debate, Biden emphasizing just a few minutes ago his age is not slowing him down.
Folks, I give you my words that Biden, I would not be running again if I didn't believe with all my heart and soul I can do this job. It's quite frankly, the stakes are too high. The stakes are too high.
And News Nation's Kelly Meyer and Robert Sherman have been tracking the debate reaction and what voters are saying. Kelly, let's start with you. You are live at this rally. What is the key takeaway?
Yeah, Natasha, as soon as he walked out onto this stage, you could tell it was a very different President Joe Biden than we saw at the debate last night. He walked out looking refreshed, at ease. He didn't have a tie on, and he was really feeding off the energy of his crowd of supporters. Remember last night's audience? There was none at the debate there last night. He also had his teleprompter there today, and he took many shots at former President Donald Trump here today, emphasizing some of the same things he did in that debate last night, but doing so on this stage, cheered on by his supporters, and he addressed his debate performance directly, admitting that it wasn't his best debate, but vowing that he can do this job. Take a listen.
I don't walk as easy as I.
So one of the first things I noticed that I want to talk about, just because it's driving me nuts, and guys, sound off in the comments and tell me what you see about this. The whole audience is screaming, yes, you can. Yes, you can. As he's saying, I know I can do this job, but is basically confirming he's not going to step down. Did anybody else seem like it was patronizing? I don't know. It felt like you were telling a child, like, you can do it. And I understand that Obama had that yes, we can thing. But him saying, I'm going to do it, I can do it. Well, yes, you can. I don't know. It almost makes me feel like even his voter base doesn't believe in him. In fact, and sound off in the comments if you're somebody who's more on the left, most of the people I speak to on the left, first of all, most of us aren't radicals, right or left. I choose neither side of this debate. I just like to try to see everything as it is. But when it comes to Biden, most of the people on the left don't actually like him from what I talk to them. They just don't like Trump so much that they're still willing to somewhat validate or stand behind him, even though they see that the ship is sinking. They just believe the ship is going to sink even further for Trump. I'm not saying whether or not that's the case. That's not here or there. That's just what they're saying. But it really bothers me that you can see from this clip, even his voter base doesn't really believe in him. Now, he goes on to say, if you remember the opening line, let's analyze this. I give you my word as a Biden that I believe. And then he goes on to saying, I can do this job. What? And here's the thing. I'm not trying to make fun of him. I feel bad for him. Most of what it comes out of his mouth sounds like word salad, and you really have to decipher it. And look, sometimes you can, and I'm sure that's the case, but this looks horrible. Not to mention, it's not just stuff like this. It's not just the word salad. He trails off, doesn't know where he is, gets lost on stage, looks like he's you-know-whatting his pants, and then he'll forget the world leaders he's around to shake their hands. It's all of these things that raises so much concern. And my question is, how much do you have to absolutely loathe Trump to put this non-functional person in office? And look, there are things I don't agree with on Trump. I don't agree with giving the states the right to tell a woman what to do with her body. But then again, my argument on that is totally different because I believe women should never have to be in the position to do that. We should have better health care, so it's never an issue for a woman, and she should never have to make that choice, and better health care would mean that doesn't ever become an issue. So I'm a little bit different in that. I'm not sitting here saying I'm pro-Trump. We've had 4 years of this. And guys, we can't pay for things. We are becoming so broke, and I've said this for so long. They are trying to put us in poverty, at least with Trump. That wasn't the case. And that, amongst other things, like certain medical technologies, is where, if I'm being honest, I lean more and more Trump at this point. But I still don't like any of these people, let's be clear. But let's also be clear. I think it's scary just to go ahead and vote for the guy who is non-functional and medically sick. And I'm gonna throw something out there. Is he medically kidnapped? I really wonder. Which I'll have another video on, because I wonder, is this man actually being held against his will and made to do all these things? How on earth can his family and the people around him in any good conscience put him out there? And I'm not attacking him, guys. I am disabled. I have cognitive issues too. This is not an attack. This is a concern. I'm looking at him like Britney Spears and what happened with her. And honestly, I thought about the same for Hillary. Not that they're not awful people, not that he doesn't want to be in that position. Britney obviously didn't. But see, we could argue that. We could argue, should we have a leader that acts this way? Remember Bush Jr.? Bush Jr., there were books literally of quotes of stupid things he said. My favorite, there was a round pie chart and he said, we ought to make the pie higher. He said the dumbest things, but he also cognitively was there. He was functional. He just said dumb stuff a lot. This man is not. I am concerned. And my question is, why everybody else is beating him down for, where is the actual medical concern for this man? Where is it? Are we as a society so lost in the fact that we need to be sold fairy tales, one side or the other? Which bedtime story do you want from these two? That nobody is asking the question, medically, is he okay? Medically, is he getting help? Medically, what's going on? Is he medically kidnapped? So even the left who's screaming you need to leave, he's not going to leave. But then again, even on certain ballots and states, they can't really remove him at this point. What are they going to do? So I guess at this point, it's going to come down to a few things. And one are the donors going to stop donating? That's going to be one big issue as to whether or not he steps aside. If the money dries up, he's done. So we'll have to wait and see what that looks like. Do you guys think he's going to be replaced? And who do we replace him with? Kamala? Now, behind the scenes, what we're hearing is Kamala and company are furious that nobody is asking her to run and nobody's asking her to step up, but nobody likes her. In fact, has she even been doing much since she's in office? Like, we don't ever hear much from her. Is she actually at events and at rallies? At least when he was with Obama, we saw him out a lot doing things, and good on him. People really don't like Kamala. And in fact, I think more and more people are disenchanted with the Democrats. But let's be honest, I think most of us know all sides are full of crap. At this point, the thing that holds me back from Trump is, and I'm going to agree with Biden on this when he says you shouldn't give civil rights back to the states. I totally agree. And which of these candidates in my mind is going to step up and help us medically, because we all have chronic health issues on top of they've all put us in poverty? I don't know. What do you guys think about this? What do you think about my assessment? What do you think about the fact that he has said he is not going to step down? Tell me your thoughts, and even if you disagree with me, guys, I love y'all, and I love your points of view, and since I don't necessarily back either one of these people, you can't ever offend me, and many times when you guys disagree with me, I actually agree with your points, because I'm not sold on either one of these people, but I'm going to point out the things that I see, and I do think it's scary. I don't know if he sees his cognitive decline. And is anybody good around him going to step up and do the right thing for somebody who, in my opinion, is sick? And I'm not talking about in an insult of like, oh, you are mentally deficient. I mean, something is wrong with him. Let's get him some actual help, like we should have done Hillary when she was having seizures on the campaign. Tell me your thoughts, guys. Sound off in the comments, and also subscribe. I'm going to have more coming to you on this, and I'm going to break stories the best of my ability. And thank you for being here. Lots of love, guys.